Greetings everybody, TheMechanist here, and today's Terraria video, we do some much needed building. We start trying to work on permanent homes for our NPCs, as well as we set up for our next boss fight. What's it going to be? Watch the video and find out. And with that being said, I do hope you enjoyed the video. And if you do, please consider hitting the like button and impacting the subscribe button. It'll help on the long run. With all that out of the way, I do hope you enjoyed the video. Welcome home. Me, I guess, and all of you. Here we are back in Terraria. You know what that means? Trying to figure out what the heck we're going to do with today's video. Although I already have an idea in mind, we'll see if we can make good on it. So, if I remember correctly, last time we left off, we were doing the pumpkin moon. We got about half the wood we need for the spooky armor, and we got everything we wanted except for the Raven summon staff, which, not bad for one run, considering our very first run, we only came away with like 40 pieces of wood, and that was it. It was so pathetic, I accidentally trashed it. But enough of that. So, what are we doing today? Well, we've been doing a lot of fighting lately, and I really don't want to fight more mech bosses to fight the Pumpkin Moon, just to get one item. So, I'm going to take a step back and reevaluate. And the best way to do that is simply by building. That's right, we're going to do a building episode. It's been a minute since I've done this. But don't worry, it's not going to be super in-depth or complicated. We're just going to be building a Duke Fishron arena, because I'm getting ready to fight Duke Fishron. And then we're going to pop over to our building world to experiment with our very first official housing. That's right, we are going to be making proper homes, which I've been saying I was going to do the entire time I've been playing the game. And I figured now is probably the time to finally act on it. I've been making progress with my inventory sorting. Not all the way, but I'm getting there. So yeah, a nice simple laid back playthrough today. We're going to do some building and do some chatting. So, with all that being said, first thing we're going to need is supplies. As I sit here, I wonder, is it going to rain soon? Alright, where did I put all my wood? Because building the Duke Fishron arena is actually pretty simple. We need wood, and we need platforms. And then, of course, our bonus things of, the crafting tables, not the crafting tables, these, buff tables, that's what they're called, and, my heart lantern, campfire, all that good stuff. Where did I put? I probably put it down here. So let's just go check. I have been doing more inventory sorting, so it makes sense that it'd be down here. Let's see, dynasty wood, dirt blocks, a lot of stone. Let's see, there's shade wood. Where's my regular wood? There we go. Alright, well, let me just check this real quick. No, alright, we do have plenty of wood. I was going to go chop down a small forest and replant it, but we have wood. So now we just need these into platforms. Not all of it, but let's see, that should be good. And if we need more, we can make more. If we need less, we can turn it back into pieces of wood. So, now with that being said, I need one last thing. Intimidator and some green solution. Yeah, this will work. Alright, off to the ocean. Cell phone away. Wrong ocean, although we do have the princess NPC. I forgot about that. Gotta find her a home. Here we are at the ocean we were looking for. Which, last time we left it, is corrupted. Maybe I should use something other than purification, but it's only temporary. So, first step of building a Duke Fishron arena, or my personal Duke Fishron arena, is taking care of all these creatures. Second step is hopefully not triggering a not goblin invasion, a UFO. So, first things first, alright, we have our new mount, which makes this a whole lot easier. Yay, Pumpkin Moon. Basically, we're building a giant wall. Now, this wall isn't so much for the battle, so much as to keep me from going into non-ocean area to enrage Duke Fishron. I'm pretty sure Duke Fishron can be enraged, so I'm going to build a protective wall just to be safe. Hello, harpies and corrupt creatures. Now, I don't know how I'm going to build this. I'm just going to build, and there's a Martian probe. That's not nearly high enough, so gotta hope that probe does not activate. If it does, well, I guess we're changing what we're planning on doing. Now, I will do that. I usually like to do Martian invasion either before or after Duke, depending on the class I'm playing. And as Summoner, don't get me wrong, the UFOs are really strong. You know what? I'm gonna be honest. Well, of course, why would I not be honest, but I want to try out the Duke Fishron summon that you can get. I've never once done the mini Sharknadoes. I always just assumed it was weak, and so never bothered. Which, I mean, it kinda is. You know, I'm not gonna sit here and say it's the greatest summon ever, but it's kinda weak only because, well, truth be told, it kinda misses a lot. Yeah, that's what makes it weak. It misses. Now, of course, you know, you get a million of them, then yeah, it's probably not gonna miss, but at that point, would anything miss? So instead, you know, I usually go with the flying saucers or just skip straight to, the Stardust Dragon. But seeing as how we're doing, I would say a Summoner playthrough, but we're currently a Summoner, I'd figure, cool, more slimes. I figure I would try and use some other summons. After all, I've never used the Tiger, and the Tiger's really strong. I got the daggers, I got the Vampire Frog. I think I got the Vampire Frog at one point, but we have the little bats. You know, it's been all about exploring and trying new things. And, you know, once you play Terraria, you know, insert random number here, you kind of have to start trying to do new things, otherwise it's going to get very old very quickly. Which is why, after I get, I don't want to say bored, but I need a break from collecting in Terraria, or my collector's playthrough, whatever you want to call it, I've already picked out our next project. Or rather, a special playthrough called, you know what, I'm not going to spoil it until we're there. Alright, mine this up real quick. And phase 1 is done. Now you might be saying, what do you mean by that? Well, we have this big open area to work with. Yeah, that should be high enough. So, next step, let's do a little bit of contamination. Just because we can. And because, you know, corruption and all that is really dark, so I'd rather have every advantage I can get. And believe it or not, being able to see is a huge advantage. Alright, that... I mean, I know it's going to re-corrupt, but let's just say and hope that's good enough for now. Yes, I could have mined out the bottom. I want to go up and over just to see how big this really is, and yes, I do believe that is going to be enough. Or rather, I really hope that is enough. So we'll do a little bit more purifying, not too much more, but a little bit more, and that should be good. Alright, so we now have a somewhat pure arena for Duke Fishron. You know what I need to do? I need to farm for the Rod of Discord. Such a powerful item. Especially with the post-Moon Lord upgrade you can do thanks to Shimmer. Alright, so now for this next part you might be saying, why are you going to place platforms when you can run on water? Well, because it has cost me many a battle, assuming I would stand on the water when I don't. So to alleviate that, I'm just going to put down a whole bunch of platforms. Yeah, not the most riveting gameplay, but it happens. So, for future plans, I'm going to be fighting Duke Fishron, that's why we're making the arena. And then I think I want to try Empress of Light. Emphasis on try, because I really don't expect to beat her just yet. And because with her, you want to be far from her as possible, and kind of need to be close with my current whip. So, yeah. I'm going to need something else for her. But that's why, you know, I got my harvest hook from the Pumpkin Moon. I'm going to try that out in a little bit. And we're trying to get the Duke Fishron mini Sharkron Tornadoes, or Sharknadoes, or whatever they're called. Because, you know, with a big target like Empress of Light, I'm hoping if I could just stay away. Okay, here we are at the border where the camera gets a little annoying. But you know what? I'm going to just finish it out, just because if I don't, I feel like I'm going to regret it. Mine up these extras, and then we're going to do this once more at the very tippy top. Alright, Martian probe. Well, luckily it actually has to detect. Would you attack it? Thank you. Good to know. If you attack it, it will not detect you. Some advanced technology. But as I was saying, and after Empress, I guess Martian. Those are the next big events. Besides refighting Pumpkin Moon for our Ravens, which might be better than Sharknadoes. I am unaware. Alright, and there we go. Platform across the world. Now we need to do this once more. And how high up? A good way up. We'll call it here. No, you know what? We'll call it here. This should be high enough. And of course we'll test it after we place a few down by doing this. We follow, and can we fly all the way up? Yes, we can. So it is the perfect height. And just rinse and repeat. After this, it's all about placing bubbles and, our heart lanterns and all that good stuff. Basic arena building. And you know what? Even though this is a very, very basic arena, it's very, very effective. Which I hope to point out. And there's a dragon here. Okay. I'll take the gold and the souls for more wings. Tiger, could you get this? Oh no, get it. Okay then, that changes everything. I'm going to now finish building this, and I guess next episode we're fighting Martians. I would do it right now, but I've kind of gotten everything lined up and I have my building program in full effect for what we're going to do after this. Well, I mean, maybe we'll get the UFOs, because I think that's the only thing really worth getting from the Martians as a summoner. I knew that was going to happen, but that's why, like I said, use to fight the Martians before or after Duke Fishron. And I guess we're doing it before. But I mean, if the Martians help us, cool. If we just end up doing it like usual and die, rinse, repeat until we happen to take care of enough, then also cool. Trying to think what other items. We can get the UFO car, but I think this magic broom's better than the UFO. We can get the cannon, which is good for range. There's a couple magic weapons, which I like. Mainly the laser machine gun and the charge beam thing. And then of course there's the sword for the Zenith, which we will get eventually. Alright, a little bit more and yeah, I guess off camera I'll have to put in the bubbles and the bass statues and things like that. Because if I go to base right now, I'm about to get invaded. And one more and good. So yeah, this is our arena. Pretty basic, but like I said, it's going to be very effective. Now, normally I would go back to base, but instead, we gotta leave the world because I do not want to fight Martians right now. So, be right back. Alright, here we are back home in the Void, which is our build world. I still love our little trees we made. So, we are not here for pleasantries and sightseeing. We're kind of here, to stay away from the, whatchamacallits, Martians. Yeah, turns out you can just leave your world if you're getting invaded by Martians. Who knew? But in all seriousness, we're here to do the next part of our building. Which means I'm going to place a quick chest so we don't lose any of our items we currently have on us. We'll go water chest, I'll place it right here, and we'll just deposit all, including our cash. Then, real quickly, you won't see it, but we'll turn off our journey mode settings and turn on our journey mode settings so we can test out some building. 1 second, please. Alright, everything's set. Now no creature will... I guess after this, no creature will spawn. Let's take care of you. And let's get building. So, first things first, what are we building? Well, I said I want to work on proper housing that I've been meaning to do for a while. And in order to do that, I'm creating a themed home for pretty much every NPC to help tell a story. So, who have I decided to work on first? Well, I've kind of taken the easy way out, you could say, by just going with the easiest build. But I'm hoping that gets the inspiration flowing. So first, okay, we do have some empty space. We have a lot of empty space, but I need to do some more mining, as we're going to be doing a lot more building. So what we need is, for now, we're just going to do basic wood. I forgot to talk to the pirate, so we will not be able to complete this full test build, but we should hopefully get enough. So now we come over here, our little test area for storage, and we need the ice rod, which is perfect for building. There we go, and we have our flying mount, now also perfect for building. So, we are going to be building, drumroll that I don't currently have, and I don't need you now. We are building a home for the pirate and the angler. Now, why these two? Like I said, it's kind of because I have the easiest idea in mind for them, so we're just going to start off with something easy. And by that, I'm also going to need platforms. I forgot. Let me just make up, a couple thousand of those real quick. There we go, and let's work on the skeleton of it right now. So we are going to be building a home for these two. Now, as you know, there are three NPCs per biome. Now I'm going to need a lot bigger. Maybe not a lot bigger, but bigger. There are 3 NPCs per biome, which, creates the maximum happiness. Plus the princess, which can work anywhere with anybody. Now, I like to think the reason they have that is because of, well, let's just say some people who play Terraria like to have their personal NPC. And by that, I mean story-wise or useful-wise. For instance, a lot of people like to shack up with the nurse, only because, when they die and respawn, well, guess who's right there to help heal them back to full. But if you do that, then I keep calling the gunsmith, I'm just going to call him the gunsmith gun guy, his, shall we say, personal interest is with the nurse. So if you take that away, then, you're ready to make yourself weaker, or not weaker, or worse in that regard. So, the princess obviously would remedy that. And, or maybe you want to do for story reasons. Maybe you want to live with the zoologist, or the goblin tinkerer, or whatever. Well, the princess is there to help, alleviate the problem of who goes where. Which is just a nice little touch, but getting back to what I was originally talking about, when it comes to the rule of 3, the 3 NPCs usually go together either because of lore reasons, or just not lore reasons so much as, relevancy. The gunsmith wants to go somewhere secluded like a desert, the nurse wants to be in the Hallowed because I guess they go together. The bomb demolitionist wants to be underground where they use mining and all that, and plus I think the demolitionist, sorry I'm forgetting my names, too busy working on crating, I'm forgetting important things. Likes to, mine because he's a dwarf. And because of that, blah blah blah, where everybody goes a certain way. So, I am building a home for our ocean, which again, pretty easy, pretty basic. I'm building a ship for our pirate and angler, because if you look at the interactions between the two, the pirate's kind of like I reformed because of the angler, and I kind of want to adopt him as my son kind of vibes, which I think is really cool. So to honor that, I'm going to be making them a pirate ship home that's currently being transformed into a fishing vessel. That's right, in my personal lore canon, the pirate officially adopts the angler, and they become fishermen. Now, there is one more NPC in the ocean, the merchant. So, simply put, I'm going to be making a merchant-style dock, where, it looks like the fishermen come in and hawk their wares after a day of fishing to the merchant, and the merchant will then, take it to whoever wants to buy it. So we have the base of the boat. I'm going to, again, just a basic idea. I will make modifications to it as we go, but for now, you gotta experiment somewhere. And so far, I'm actually liking the way this is turning out. I'm using the pixel rules. In case you don't know, they suggest, not they, but some builders I have looked into the past suggest rather than treating it as a 1-1-1, but instead you want to make pixel blocks, so 1 by 1, 2 by 2, 3 by 3, 4, making your builds. And as you can see, it looks actually a lot better having some thickness to it than if, say, I would just go 1 by 1. Alright, you know what, I'll go one more because it's supposed to be like the captain's quarters. And we have a basic outline for a ship. So this would be like this would probably be the storage area, and then this would be like the crew's quarters, and good stuff like that. So one more thing we need, a little plank out here to indicate, I don't know what to officially call it, but basically the place where, the figurehead would go and people can, look off and jump onto other ships from here. So let's see, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, then 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Dang it, did I go more? 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Yes, I did. It's, that's a little long, so we'll take 2 off. We'll call it there, obviously using the hammer, we can smooth it out a little bit, but we have the basic shape of a boat. And then, of course, somewhere like right here, we would put the mast. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So, this would go all the way up. I could also probably use beams instead of wood, but I'm just mapping everything out. So over the next couple episodes as we build 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, we'll be making adjustments to this until we have what we feel like is a good pirate ship. But for now, I'm going to do one last trick and we'll wrap up. So I need actuators. I don't think I have them researched. We'll then pretend these are actuated so they're in the background. Again, trying to make what looks like a mast. And then up here, I will make a full pirate flag using the sail block you can get from the pirate and paint. And then I'm going to paint half of it a different color, maybe like a little fish on it or something to indicate that this once was a pirate vessel turning into a fishing vessel. And then of course, pirates' quarters, crew quarters, I'll probably put like a bunch of crates down here to show all the merchant they have. And that will be our home for the pirate and the angler. And you know what? This is not a bad start. It really isn't. So of course, if we were in our world, this would be like half in the water. It'd be fully decorated, and then over here where our storage would be, I'm going to make what looks like a dock, and then like a bunch of little stalls and stores, and it looks like the merchant has a conglomerate going, That's just what I have in store. So, with that being said, I guess we have to go prepare for Martians. Well, that was a lot of fun, and I hope you enjoyed as much as I enjoyed playing. This has been The Mechanist, logging off. Until next time.